Does bedtime feel like an emotional roller coaster because your kid is scared to sleep alone? I know how exhausting this can be. And your evenings are basically gone, right? Instead of having 2 seconds to sit down and relax, you're now stuck in an endless cycle of cuddles and back rubs and walkbacks. Well, today we're going to break down what's really behind your child's fear of sleeping alone. And I'm going to give you some practical strategies so that you can help build their confidence so they can sleep without you and you can get your evenings back. Let's start by understanding what's really going on. Like, why is your kiddo so scared? Why are they clinging to you at bedtime? Well, one big reason is developmental milestones. So around 3 years old is when kids start to understand that they are separate from you. They are a different person from you. When you are not together, you still exist, you're just in a different place. So when you're trying to put them to bed and you're leaving the room, they are starting to understand that you're still there, you're just in a different room. And guess what? They want to be with you because you're like their favorite person in the world. So while this understanding is an amazing, developmental leap and a natural part of growing up, it can make being alone feel a little bit tough. Another reason is fear of the unknown. Their imaginations are blossoming at this age, which is great for creativity and storytelling, but not so great when the shadows in the room start to look like monsters and creaky floors start to sound spooky, right? And finally, their need for connection is real. Like I said, you are their favorite person. So the important thing to know here is that some separation anxiety at night is normal and to be expected. But normal doesn't have to mean permanent. And if you want to help your child build up their sleep independence so that they can sleep without you, it actually benefits your child in a few ways. First of all, sleep independence teaches self-soothing, which is a vital emotional skill that really helps your kids build that self-reliance. So they're not just learning how to sleep at night, they're actually learning how to rely on themselves, which is an important skill they're going to take with them for the rest of their lives. Second, it helps them feel secure in their own abilities. So instead of relying on you to reassure them and make them feel safe, they start to learn like, oh, I can do this on my own. I'm safe by myself. And that realization, that is powerful. And lastly, let's talk about you. Imagine having your kid-free evenings back, having a minute to fold laundry, sit down, watch a show, see your spouse. That's important. You deserve that. And when your child can sleep independently, you get that time back. So helping your toddler overcome nighttime fears, it's not just about bedtime. It's about setting the stage for long-term self-confidence and self-reliance skills. And ultimately, we want to be raising kids who can separate from us easily and feel confident on their own, while always knowing that we are connected and there for them. Okay, so let's get into some high-level strategies so you can start making some progress to tackle these fears. The first is to validate their feelings. Now, I know sometimes as mature adults, the first thing we want to do is just kind of dismiss it. There's no such thing as monsters. Go back to bed. But that's not going to help the situation because to your kiddo, it might feel very real to them, right? Because like we said, their imagination is totally blossoming. So some of these things might feel real and just dismissing them isn't going to make them feel heard. It's probably going to escalate the situation. So we want to validate their feelings. So what I recommend first is try to see it from their perspective. And I mean this literally. Lay in their bed in the dark, like set the room up just like how you put them to bed and lay in the bed next to them and say, what is scary? So sometimes there actually could be something that is scary to them. Like let's say there's a picture frame and it's making like a weird shadow, or maybe it's just really dark in their room and maybe you just need a dim night light, like that could help. Maybe there's a blinking light on the smoke detector that kind of freaks them out. Or maybe as you lay there, you start to hear that the ice machine is really loud and that's kind of making them feel scared. Once you see it from their perspective, you can help, right? Maybe you move the picture frame so that that shadow is gone. Maybe you put some electrical tape over the blinking lights. They can't see that. Or you explain to them about the ice maker and you go down in the kitchen and show them so they hear the sound in the kitchen. So doing those things really helps our kids feel heard and understood and helps to overcome that fear. Now, if it's more generalized, like they're just saying, I'm just scared, the best thing to do is just be reassuring, but also, again, validate what they're saying. I understand that you're saying that it's a little bit scary to be in your room by yourself, and I understand that, buddy, but you are safe in your room. You are safe in our house, and I am here. I am right downstairs, or I am right down the hall, and you're always safe in our house. So the more reassuring you can be to them while validating their feelings, that will help to keep them calm. The second thing is having a safe, predictable bedtime routine. So our kids thrive on routine and structure. The more consistent you can be with the bedtime routine, this is going to be your best friend. So when kids really know what to expect at night, it helps them feel safe and secure, and it doesn't allow their anxiety to take hold of them. And when I say consistent, I mean look at your bedtime routine and make sure the steps are really consistent every night. So they know when they go into their room, they do PJs, they brush their teeth, they read books, and then they go in bed. So having that real structured and that real consistent routine is actually going to make bedtime easier and help to reduce those fears. The third thing is to provide reassurance without reinforcing the fear. Providing comfort doesn't mean staying with your kid all night long. And in fact, that can actually make things worse. And it can definitely undermine their chance to build some self-reliance. So think about this from your child's perspective. If you're telling them you're safe and you're fine in your room to be alone, but you never actually leave them alone because you keep coming back and staying with them while they're falling asleep, it delivers a mixed message to them. It makes them think, well, I don't know, she says it's okay to be alone, but she keeps coming back, so maybe it's not okay to be alone. By doing that, it can actually undermine what you're saying and unconsciously be reinforcing those fears for them, which is obviously not what we want to do. Now, before you work on solving these fears, let me run you through a few common mistakes. So the first one is kind of what I just alluded to, which is staying in the room too long or co-sleeping every time they call out. Going back to their side every single time they call out or say that they have a fear is not helping them overcome that fear. It's actually kind of reinforcing the fear. It's never giving them a chance to stay in the room by themselves. So you're going to continue to see the fears keep happening and keep happening. The second mistake is making like sudden, drastic changes. So if your kid has been saying that they have a fear of something for a while and you've been staying with them or letting them sleep in your bed with you, and then all of a sudden one night, cold turkey, you just start changing everything, that's going to feel really dramatic and too sudden for them and probably cause the situation to escalate. So make tiny, small baby steps and celebrate all the progress along the way. And also be sure to really explain to your kid the changes that you're going to make so they're well prepared. And the third mistake is when you accidentally reinforce their fear by overreacting to their distress at night. So what I mean by that is like our kids feed off of our emotions, right? So they can sense if we feel panicked, or they can sense if we're saying like, you got it, buddy, but we don't really believe that they've got it. You know, they can sense that from us. So it's really important that you stay strong and stay calm so that you can allow them to feed off of your confidence. Avoiding these pitfalls really helps to build trust and security and allows your kiddo to overcome those fears and build their confidence faster. Just think how great it would be if your kiddo could climb into bed, not have any fears, not have any complaints, fall asleep easily, and sleep through the night. Then you've got your evenings back. You've got some kid-free time to relax and hang out. You're not constantly walking back to their room and trying to reassure them about monsters. If this sounds like exactly what you need, then I invite you to join me in my next Toddler Sleep Masterclass. It's a free class where I'm going to teach you the proven 4-part method to get your kiddo to fall asleep without you. Put the link here. You need to save your spot. I'll see you in class.